Hello my beautiful friend and welcome back to another daily video. Ubisoft, I have no idea what they're doing. I now believe that it is their goal to bankrupt their own company because every time someone in upper management, in this case the CEO Yves Gilmore, opens their mouth, it gets worse by the day. And today we're going to talk a little bit about how they had to stop focusing on those who hated them, which is already a very stupid take. And as we have finished Assassin's Creed 1 yesterday in the stream, how I would rework the Assassin's Creed series, because I have thoughts about that one. First of all, this IGN article, as always, you will find it linked in the description box down below, besides all the YouTube things, of course. So like, subscribe, whatever, let's go. Written by Tom Phillips, we had to stop focusing on those who hated us. Ubisoft says Yasuke backlash directly led to Assassin's Creed Shadows delay. When conversation shifts from gameplay to ideology. Ideology? Oh my god, my brain right now. I'm sorry. Ubisoft boss Yves Gilmore has discussed last year's intense backlash to Assassin's Creed Shadows and said the unexpected conversation shift from gameplay to ideology led directly to its high-profile delay. Yeah, because it was the reason. Yeah, of course. Speaking during a recent event at Paris Games Week, as reportedly by GameFile, Gilmore screened a short internal video Ubisoft had created to narrate its response to the backlash surrounding Shadow's Black Samurai co-protagonist Yasuke, which even saw Tesla and Xbox Elon Musk getting involved. What? Really? Wait, is this another article? Oh yeah, when was this from? Last year. No, we're not going to look into that one. Gilmore has now stated that the level of vitriol required Ubisoft to rethink its plans for Shadows. Back then, set for launch in November 2024, ultimately, the company elected to delay the game until March 2025. A decision explained last year as necessary to polish the game further, which it severely needed, but it still had a lot of issues. And I don't mean the real world issues, I don't mean the story issues and everything else, just really gameplay with bugs and glitches and everything. But behind the scenes, Gilmore says the firm understood that it needed to bolster fan sentiment to ensure the game launched to a more positive response. You know, when the Prime Minister of Japan is calling you out for bullshit, there is a lot to unpack here. We're not going to go into everything again because even if we take everything out from the real world issues, let's just focus on the narrative side. I don't wanted another revenge story with Naue. I didn't want a eradication of the modern day storyline, which is now gone and probably we will never see again. But I again have thoughts about that after this article. We will talk about that. With more time to improve the game, Ubisoft gave itself the opportunity to share more with fans pre-launch. Gilmore said something the company hoped would both impress long-term Assassin's Creed aficionados and move the conversation around Shadows on. What we saw is that, by allowing our fans to see in the game everything they were going to be able to rediscover of what they love about Assassin's Creed, which it wasn't that much, that ultimately helped to combat this aggression, which is linked to the fact that video games have a very strong impact on the people who play them, Gilmore said, which this part I agree with. Video games have a strong impact on the people who play them. They're kind of caught between I want to play and what interests me is self-expression within a game, yes, and there is a cultural message that comes with the video game. Also, yes, but if you're using these things to push an agenda, to push an ideology, why Why do I have problems with these words today? I have no idea. But doesn't matter. If you try to do things that ultimately your longtime fans do not want, and even your new fans don't want, and it's just catering to a small section of the, well, fan base, then you will have issues, of course. And it didn't sell even that well for the most expensive one to make, by the way. So our goal is really to be able to ensure that our fans discover and defend what they expect from our games. Gilmore continued. It very quickly eliminated the fights which were just fake fights. Did it though? Was it just a fake fight? Let's go on. In an internal video also shown last week, Ubisoft described its response as a successful turnaround of public opinion on a game featuring a pre-launch crisis. Who are you trying to gaslight here? This is not a successful turnaround. What happened when a legendary franchise reveals one of its most anticipated experiences? The video begins, only to become the game everyone loves to hate. It is not that we love to hate it. I hate that I hate it. I want to enjoy Assassin's Creed. I am an Assassin's Creed fan since the beginning. Yes, I forgot a couple of things that happened in the story in Assassin's Creed 1. I mean, we have it on camera. It is here on YouTube. You can go watch it. I've played it back in the day on release and I loved it. And I played almost every other Assassin's Creed back then. I did not want this. I criticize because I want it to be better. Again, my motto is support what you love, criticize when it's needed. And I want to support Assassin's Creed. But at this point in time, the only thing that is left is to criticize it. When conversation shifts from gameplay to ideology, when everything you say only adds fuel to the fire, because everything you said was just bullshit. In September 2024, we had our backs against the wall, and that's when it clicked. The video continues. To get out of the corner, we had to stop focusing on those who hated us. We had to start firing up our allies. Oh, how did that work out for you? Wait, just let me look at the stock right now. Because again, I bought 12 Ubisoft stock, because at this point in time, they're basically pennies. So it feels like. At this point in time, it's at €6.12. It got even worse. Oh, sorry, I have 15, not 12. I have 15 stock. Holy damn, what the hell? Yeah, focus on the people who are your allies. It works out for you. What is Tencent saying to this? What is Tencent saying to you at this moment in time? Because again, I believe that this is now a plan that they are pursuing, because the less valuable their stock is, the more they can buy back and so on. I think this might be something. I have no idea. I'm just spitballing here. This is my crazy tinfoil hat theory right now. But from what it looks like, Ubisoft is going the way of the dodo. They're going to be extinct if they keep up with this crap. So, where was I? I'm sorry. So we stopped trying to win the argument and leaned on what had carried us for 18 years, the Assassin's Creed brand, which obviously did not work out. You had, who was it again? Saudi Arabia? Invest into Assassin's Creed Mirage so that you basically have a game. Which we still have to play, by the way. In that one, I'm really, really interested, because it's going back a little bit to the origins. So we're gonna look into that one. We started by doing the last thing anyone would have advised. We delayed the game. No, that was the good thing. The extra time allowed the devs to polish, optimize, and reach the high standards fans expected from an Assassin's Creed game. And it still wasn't enough, by the way. It also gave us time to rebuild the Assassin's Creed brand pact, putting the markers of the franchise back at the center. More hood, more stealth. Yeah, put the black guy in the hood. Yeah, of course, of course. More stealth, more leap of faith, more lore. And the lore is bullshit. The lore. Holy crap. Don't get me started on the lore. Holy shit. So we could show that the spirit of Assassin's Creed lives on in its shadow. In shadows. Okay, we have. Oh my god, there is so much to unpack. I'm getting mad right now, if you can't tell. The lore. First of all, again, modern day storytelling is gone. It's dead. They killed it. Yasuke is the best assassin of all time because he's not even an assassin. He's just a samurai. Because he killed the Assassin's Creed franchise for so many people. Naue basically did the same because it's another revenge story, which is bullcrap. Yeah, with the DLC, they kinda went back a little bit into the Assassin versus Templar thing. With that, I will not argue because it's there, it's a fact. The thing here is, if you have the mother of Japan, of modern day Japan, having a relationship with Yasuke, who is also basically just a bisexual, which I don't mind, but what the hell is going on here? And there is so many other issues. There is no mocap anymore. The voice actors are really bad. And not all voice actors, by the way. But there are bad voice actors in there. The facial animations are bad. Some of them look like they've been constipated for a week and they do not know how to get rid of it. Movement sometimes sucks. And again, lore. If you don't know me, I'm a huge lore guy. I love lore. I read a lot of books. Not only for Warhammer, which is my main thing. This is why we always talk about Warhammer in the streams. And today, later today, we have the live stream with Games Workshop's preview for the upcoming year that we're gonna watch together. Lore is what drives me. If a game has okay lore, that's fine, then the gameplay will carry it for me. But if the lore is fantastic, I don't mind if the gameplay is subpar, because lore, for me, again, is the most important thing. And Assassin's Creed Shadows just killed it. It wasn't even a fast one. Over the last couple of games, it was a small bloodletting. That's just it. Moving on. I'm sorry for the rant. Instead of fearing leaks, we showed the game, which was a good thing, which I totally endorse that many more publishers should do this. Show the freaking game. Don't fear leaks. If the people, the people who buy the game, who ultimately will give you their hard-earned money, if the vast majority of them say, we don't like this, for this and this reason, I don't know, this animation looks clunky, could you do a little bit more work on that one? Or I don't know, this aesthetic is not fitting for this era because it was 500 years in the future, or something like that. Circling back to the half-destroyed Torii Gate, which was a World War II incident. Let me just phrase it like this, because I don't want to get age restricted right now. And yeah, there are so many issues there. So, to every publisher, show the game. Listen to the people who will spend the money on your game. Fans came back. Conversations started shifting, and everyone who built, played, and loved this game could be proud again. Are you sure about that? But again, the thing here is, I really sound negative here, and I admit that. However, if you yourself enjoyed the game, that is awesome. Again, I say this again and again. Your enjoyment of a game does not hurt me. In fact, I love it when you have a game that you can enjoy. Games are made to be enjoyed. And ultimately, this is what we as a community should support. Just because I don't like the game doesn't mean you should not like the game. Just to be clear of that one. I'm just hurt at this point with Assassin's Creed. The framing of the delay as a positive response to the game's backlash is an interesting one, though one which feels limited considering what we already know from other reports detailing events at the time. In October last year, Insider Gaming reported that the game's delay had been widely expected within the company and desperately needed to address feedback from playtests and mock reviews, a standard industry practice where external consultants size up projects before copies are given to press. Yes, it totally makes sense. Speaking in December last year, former Assassin's Creed franchise boss Mark Alexis Cote suggested similar, saying that the game's delay was necessary to change the narrative of Ubisoft's inconsistency in quality. And it's still inconsistent, just months after the company's fellow blockbuster Star Wars Outlaw underperformed. Oh boy, I wonder why that one underperformed as well. But Ubisoft, or rather, let's just say it by the name, Yves Gilmore will never admit failure because he's just that kind of guy who will never admit his own faults, who will enable a toxic work environment. I almost said the word that will age restrict me here on YouTube. And yeah, because it's Star Wars' fault. It was Disney's fault that Star Wars Outlaws underperformed. Yeah, of course, that was the reason. And perhaps most notably, there is no mention here by Gilmore of the fact that Ubisoft's plans to delay Shadows came alongside a decision to reportedly cancel a separate Assassin's Creed game set in post-World Civil War America. Which again, as a setting, it sounds fantastic. It sounds great. I would have loved that. But then again, I'm saying this again and again, I don't trust Ubisoft to make this not an agenda-pushing video game. I don't trust Ubisoft to give us a story that is respectful of the time, that is respectful of the characters in the game, and ultimately respectful to us as paying customers. A project that would have featured a former slave as its main character. While still in pre-production, the game's fate was apparently sealed after Ubisoft judged the idea too risky to continue amid the current US political landscape, which is also just a scapegoat, by the way. Again, they fully know that they would have botched this again, and to a lesser extent after having seen the Yasuke backlash. Dude, we had black characters already in Assassin's Creed. And they were okay to great, depending on the game. I forgot which one was the one with the lady where you can also change your clothes to blend in. That was fine. It was a good game. It was just missing something, but I have to go back to that one to really know what was missing there, because again, my memory is probably playing tricks on me. I just went out of that game with it's an okay game. But the DLC for Black Flag, that one was great. I really enjoyed that one. But yeah, Assassin's Creed Shadows has gone on to sell in line with expectations. Yeah, of course. Ubisoft said in July with 5 million copies sold so far. Okay, there is a lot to unpack here. And I'm sorry that this video is already too long, but I'm really passionate about Assassin's Creed. We have to talk about this. And again, just after finishing the first one yesterday on stream, and I completely forgot my headset is going to turn off in a moment and I will get scared. So, because it's just blasting, powering off into my ears. Okay, so we have Assassin's Creed 1, or rather the whole Assassin's Creed franchise is in not a good spot right now. I also, again, do not trust Assassin's Creed Hexe to, well, perform well. Because from what we have heard right now, we already have talked about that one a couple of days ago, it sounds like crap. It really does. I don't want to play a witch. Or rather, what is this supposed to do with assassins? Are they trying to shoehorn assassins and Templars into this? Because I can see Templars. Okay, that I can see, because it kind of makes sense. 16th century Germany, which, you know, I'm here in Germany. This is where I live. I know the place. Templars, fine. Assassins, fine, you can shoehorn them in, but it's about the witch trials and everything. I'm just wondering that they're not doing this in Salem, basically, which would be just another trope. Maybe they just circled that one back and said, oh, everyone is expecting witches in Salem. So yeah, would have been just a very funny thing to have a blonde one running around called Sabrina. But yeah, this is what I was expecting. But now we can control a cat that is supposed to distract enemies? No, I don't want that. I want an assassin game. I don't mind change. In fact, I love it when they try to show us something new. But at this point in time, we have to go back a little bit. We have strayed too far from the road that made Assassin's Creed Assassin's Creed. What do I mean by that? The thing here is, we have multiple games that lost their identity. And with identity, I mean just look at what is supposed to be Gears of War. We have Gears of War. If you have played it, you know what it is. This is the identity, basically. You play a buff guy with a chainsaw gun, and yeah, well, you mow down a lot of aliens. That's it. And of course, Brotherhood and stuff. Space Marine Warhammer has an identity. This is also something with design language, which I had discussed with a friend of mine a couple of months ago, because when I said, yeah, an orc is basically not an orc if it is in another setting, because you will know an orc if it comes from Lord of the Rings. You will know an orc if it comes from Warhammer. Doesn't matter if it's 40k or Age of Sigmar or Old World. You will know an orc if it comes from Warcraft, and so on and so on. This is also part of their identity. And again, we have strayed too far from Assassin's Creed's identity. After playing the first one again, now I can also talk a little bit about my idea. And again, this is just a quick mock-up. I didn't put really that much thought into it. How can we go back, start anew? We take Assassin's Creed 1, but just as a small backstory, basically. We play in the modern day storyline Desmond. I don't know if that is the best idea, probably not, but probably retcon everything. If not Desmond, someone else. But we have to have... oh no, yeah, wait, I'm sorry. I was a little bit too far ahead right now. We take Desmond as a kid. That was what I wanted to do. And we play his father. And not the Kratos boy version of it, but how he was raised, basically. Just a quick reminder, okay, Desmond is an assassin before he left the assassin order and became a barkeeper. And how he just interacted, how he learned a little bit. This might be a little bit of a tutorial and so on. But in the historic side, we play Altair. We play the older one, the one who has already written the codex, the one who has incorporated poisons and stuff into the assassination and every other thing with the two sides of the same coin stuff. The old, mature one, the mentor one. And we play him for a while, just like the father. Then we have a cut. We don't kill both of them. We don't kill the father. We don't kill Altair. But Altair has also a student, which we then go and play for the rest of the time. None of the older characters will die. Again, very important. We will not have a "you killed my father" situation here and then go on a revenge spree. No, no, no. This is not what we're doing. We, because have, again, Altair as the uber assassin. He is the master. He has all the tools. We play a little bit with that one. Something happens, he's not able to do that anymore. Doesn't have to be an injury, just has to be something, okay, I have to take care of this one. I will send you messages from time and time. Sometimes we will come back, meet up, I will help you, but then Altair is always just in the background and we play the student who has to acquire the gear and so on. And he has to learn what Altair has learned from all his experiences as an assassin under Al-Mualim and what happened even after that one. We can bring back the one-armed guy who is really well written. I enjoyed that one so much. And again, the writing has to be good. And I say this as, again, spitballing thing. I miss the old times. And it's not that far away. It's just been 15 years. We talked about that yesterday in the stream. Because Assassin's Creed 1 was made in a time where games had to prove that they are a piece of art. Which they are. Because back in the day, you might not be old enough, or maybe you forgot, or you were just not that interested into that topic, but video games had to prove to other people that they are an art form, just like movies or music or anything else in the media. And so story writers, artists, and everyone involved were pushing this. They were pushing the narrative of games being an art. And now a lot of people are just lying back on their cushions with their wine in one hand. Let's just say it's Coke, by the way. It's fake Coke with zero, without caffeine, because I can't drink caffeine anymore because of a heart condition that I have. Yeah, I can drink 1 cup of coffee basically a day, but doesn't matter. Let's just say, and then they have grapes in their other hand, and it's just like, we did it. Oh yes, give it to me. Wine and everything. And now they're just like, okay, yeah, my work is done. And everyone coming after that is just like, oh, we don't know what to do. We have no one to learn from. As of course, I'm hyperbolic here. They have people to learn from, but also we now have AI, and this is why I'm really, really scared, because things will just be at this point right now. Yes, we have Expedition 33. Yes, we have Hades 2. We have Dispatch, which is also fantastically written, and there will be more games like this. But these are, as far as I'm aware right now, outliers. This is one of the true outliers, not the outliers that many journalists try to push, that indie games are outliers with, what was it, Schedule 1, Escape from Duckhoff, Megabonk was the name, Uma Masume, if that's the way you pronounce it, I forgot, doesn't matter. And we have so many other games, Silk Song and so on. It is a very long list, and my memory is not working well enough to remember every indie game that has done well this year, because there are a lot of them. They are incredibly well made. They are way cheaper, not only to make, but also for us as, you know, the gamers, the customers. They try to push this narrative that these are outliers. They are not. They are becoming the norm. Don't believe those people when they say, yeah, Silksong was an outlier. Oh, Megabonk is an outlier. Arc Raiders is an outlier. No, they're not. Arc Raiders is rivaling Battlefield 6 right now. which is a wild thing to say, by the way. But again, with AI, I'm really, really scared that story writing will stagnate. And this will happen to a lot of people. Is AI here to stay? Yes. And I really hate it. I hate it so much. Right now, even in music, I have to be careful that I don't listen to AI music, because not only I don't want to support this. I'm a musician myself. I've been making music for over 30 years. I play 3 instruments. And by the way, I play the violin, I play the bass guitar, and I play the cello. Or rather, I had until I had issues with the finer motoric skills of my hand. But I'm also an artist. I paint models. I teach miniature painting. And again, I'm totally, completely against AI. I am right now in the works of making a game with 2 of my friends. Now we are 3. We expanded. And I'm writing a story for that one. And again, I'm not using AI because AI is just gathering things from a pool that is already there. It's not going to expand. And even if it is expanding, the problem there is you will always, not always, the majority of the things it will spit out into the world is just way too similar, because every word has basically a percentage of will it appear, yes, no. Let's just say the word expand is in there. Will it appear? Maybe 80%. What is another word for expand? I don't know. Maybe that was a wrong example, because again, my mind is not working right now, not well enough. To add, I don't know. This is the stupidest version. This will be 20%, the other 20%. So 100 people will type in, give me this. 80% of them will get expand. That's it. And not even that, because this is not how this works, by the way. Maybe 85% of them will get this. Maybe 90% of them will get the expand answer, and so on. But there are so many other things that will get lost in time. And this is something we have to push back against. This is a totally different rant. Oh God, I'm sorry. Oh God. Circling back to Assassin's Creed. Yes, this was my idea. Basically have in the modern day storyline and in the historical fiction storyline 2 mentors that are still alive, because we know Desmond's dad is still alive in Assassin's Creed 1. And we know what Altair is doing after Assassin's Creed 1. And yeah, this is dude, why are we here? What is happening to Assassin's Creed, man? Let's finish this. I'm done. I'm mad. Ugh, I have to. Oh God. Let's just end it. Yeah. Please leave your thoughts and questions in the comment section down below. I'm keen to know what you have to say. If you have ideas for the rework of Assassin's Creed, again, we don't even have to retcon everything. If we retconning something, it doesn't have to be Assassin's Creed 1 to 4. Keep them how they are, but add to it. We have to add someone who is with Desmond in the modern day storyline. So we can keep this person after Desmond's death, so he can go and further the storyline. Because I love Desmond as a character. He is flawed, but he is funny. He has conviction later in the game. He has a son, by the way. And I liked him so much back in the day that Desmond was one of my nicknames in... which game was it? Oh, I forgot. Doesn't really matter. But I used his name because Desmond Miles is just It's just such a good character. I don't know. Yeah, leave your thoughts and questions in the comment section down below. I'm keen to know what you have to say. And while you're here, please remember to do all the things that make the dings. Why? Because that way we can build a bigger community and talk more video game news every day. And by that I of course mean like and subscribe, and if you want you can share this video with your friends. And please turn off YouTube's restricted mode. Otherwise, have a great day my friend, stay fantastic, stay hydrated. And I will see you tomorrow. Oh no, sorry, later today with Warhammer Preview Live. And or tomorrow with the next video. Bye, bye, rant over, bye.